A very good morning and a warm namaste to all present here. This is Rose from Nepal. On the slide we see the tribe called Santals, completely one with nature, are worshipping the nature. There's lot of love and respect. Before I begin my short presentation on my thesis, I would like to thank all of you for being here today. The topic of my thesis is the importance of adopting development communication in policy making in Nepal Ayurveda sector, the case of Morang district, East Nepal. In the rational background of my study, I deal with development communication way. For the past 2.5 years, I have been wrestling with this theme, development communication. Its definition, concept, approaches, philosophy. I am completely fascinated with these two words, development communication. It puts people first. In the South African context, it is defined development communication approach as when a government decides to dialogue with its citizens. That approach is called development communication approach. It also puts people at the priority. It deals with participatory communication. It stresses on the involvement of the community from the planning, implementing, and evaluating any developmental program. I also deal with Ayurveda as the ultimate healing. Ayurveda is an age-old practice where Ayurveda has a holistic approach. In spite of the modern medicine, we all are aware, before the birth of the modern medicine, Ayurveda was our refuge. Ayurveda is considered to be the wealth of the poor. The poor, completely depending on nature, they have found solution to all their health-related problems. Ayurveda has the treasury of a holistic approach. It has a holistic recommendation, for it does not only heal the body, it also heals the mind. I go on to explain about the present situation of Nepal Ayurveda sector. The Ayurveda sector in Nepal can be considered as stagnant and it moves at a tortoise speed. Ayurveda sector, with the influence of the national and international agencies, very especially the World Health Organization, Nepal Ayurveda sector has drafted lots of policies and strategies. However, the district of Morang is completely unaware of all the policies and strategies that are drafted at the center. Thus, I do in this thesis attempt to analyze the implementation of these policies and the ineffectiveness of these policies and strategies and try to interpret the reasons behind the ineffectiveness of these policies and the importance of participatory communication approach in drafting a policy. The geographic location of Morang district in the Nepal map we can see here on the slide. In the north and south, both east and west, we have only two neighbors, China and India. And Morang district is in the east Nepal, the second district colored in red. The statement of the problem, Morang district is the second largest city after Kathmandu. It is the industrial capital of Nepal. Participatory communication approach is lacking in drafting the policies not only on Ayurveda sector, in many other sectors too. The inadequacy of this approach. One of the best alternative for prevention and cure is Ayurveda, and that is completely ignored in the district of Morang as well as in the country of Nepal. The author tries to analyze and understand and asks the question, could Nepal government adopt a different approach? How are the beneficiaries involved as we learn about the philosophy, the approaches of development communication, where we talk about the social mobilization, the importance of participatory approach, the importance of involving all the stakeholders in analyzing the situation, understanding the problem, together finding out the solutions to this problem. The objective of my study is to describe the present situation of the district Ayurveda center and also study the reasons behind having the second largest city in Nepal, having the high population, but it only has 3 Ayurveda centers in this large district. And the richness of Santal tribe, their age-old knowledge on Ayurveda, the speculate ways Santals have handed down their knowledge on Ayurveda. They have been practicing it. They don't have a mode of, they have a very unique ways of passing on the information. They have unique ways of communicating their culture and traditions from one generation to another. They have, the children learn these cultures, these practices by observation and by doing it. So a practical suggestion could be given to the Nepal government to involve the richness of these people, tap the resources from these indigenous people, the indigenous approaches that they have, which are so good and which have all been handed down from generation to generation without much of modern technologies. The limitations of the study is lot of information is taken from browsing, the limited knowledge of the district Ayurveda staff, detailed study of only Santal tribe, as there are so many tribes in Nepal and all of them are rich in the knowledge of traditional medicine. In the review of related literature, I studied about the Japanese approach to development communication. I was so happy and privileged to be involved with JICA, Japanese International Corporation on Charity Agency, which worked after the earthquake that hit Gorkha, Western Nepal. They have a very unique approach. They minutely followed the instruction of Nepal government. Then they went on to the field at the bottom where people are living. They gathered the people, they had a series of interactions with them. During the brainstorming session, they acknowledged and identified the techniques, the knowledge, the wisdom that are the wealth of the people at the grassroots level. They shared their knowledge. Both of them were convinced that they know something the other did not know, the same way the other knew something that this one did not know. Thus, they came to the conclusion, both of them shared their resources and they together planned how they would rebuild the houses after the earthquake. Because it was a planned project, both have shared their knowledge and wisdom. The project was very sustainable and successful. The people owned the houses they made, for the houses are made by their own hands. I also deal with the unique culture of Santals, where Santals are lovers of nature. They are always situated close to the river, near the mountains. All their life they live in one with nature. They worship the nature. The traditional practices of healing is associated with the religion, the faith they have. Due to the faith, lot of their illnesses get healed. For my surprise, in my interview too, I see how the Santal children, both boys and girls, are part and parcel of this traditional healing. The boys go, their joy is to go for hunting. While they go for hunting, they all know, they all learn from their elders the animal, the small insects, creatures that are in medicine for our health. So they all bring, when they go for hunting, helping their grandparents who are traditional healers, as well as they also learn the sicknesses for which these insects, animals are used. In turn, girls go for cutting grass. While cutting grass, they identify lot of herbs that are medicinal. The herbs not only become their medicine, the herbs become their daily food. In everyday meal, they always have green vegetables as their food. Once the green vegetables have become their daily food, they keep healthy, strong, and they are completely one with nature. The importance of Ayurveda is well understood by the tribes called Santals. The methodology that I used is research, design, the data collection procedure. I used in-depth interviews with the staff of the district hospital, doctors, and the peon and the patients who come to the hospital. I had full 3 days exposure in the hospital, and I understand the average number of patients who come to the hospital are only 20. There are 7 full-time paid government staff. Now already it is 17 years that hospital is running there. However, it is painful. In spite of the monetary investment by Nepal government, the beneficiaries are very few. And geographically, the hospital is in the outskirts of the city. I also had a focus group discussion with the with the outreach program centers where this is a district of Morang. Here we see in green is the capital of the district, Biratnagar, and even in that the end border is the hospital. And there are the 3 yellow marked centers where the sub centers are there with still minimum facilities. There the patient can be average of only 5 to 10. And the 3 dotted orange places are the place where they go twice a month for the outreach program. According to the population density, Morang comes second to the capital of Kathmandu, capital of Nepal, Kathmandu. According to the density of the population, Morang should have maximum number of centers. Kathmandu, geographically small in size, has more than 50 centers, whereas Morang, big in geographical size, big in population, equal in population, has only 1 district hospital with 3 sub-centers. In my results and findings, I understand that the district Ayurveda hospital is in fact stagnant. It moves in a tortoise speed. I also discovered the richness of the Santal tribe. I admired their ways of handing down their knowledge from generation to generation in a very unique and creative and innovative way. The age-old independent practice of their tribes continues. The modern and Western ways is a serious threat to them. The value of sharing and caring is replaced now by greed and selfishness. It needs immediate intervention. These are the leafy vegetables that Santal tribe have it as their food every day. They worship the nature, they love the nature, they respect the nature. As a concluding remark, there are right policies in Nepal government, but it does not promise development. The importance of involving the community is neglected. Tapping the indigenous knowledge and approach is recommended. Sincere and conscious effort to promote Ayurveda by the government. Recognizing the indigenous approaches and promoting it. Involving the community in planning, implementing and evaluating any developmental program. And we need to be consistent in the approach. So at the end of my thesis presentation, I would like to prove that the participatory approach to any development program is a must. And we need to understand the importance of acknowledging the indigenous ways and means where our people in the earlier days had beautifully learned, practiced, and handed down the knowledge to younger generation. So I thank all of you for being patient in listening to me. Have a good day. Thank you so much.